Hello. Earlier this year I put out a series of videos on the Dietz number 80 hurricane lanterns, and those are my favorite for just lighting around, on my deck here and so on. I've had a few questions about them, a bit about maintenance and so on, and some of that's pretty straightforward, but one of the ones that was interesting was someone asked me about how do you trim a wick on this to get the most light. So I did some research and we're going to see. I'm Dean and this is the Alberta Bushcrafter channel. Okay, I'm going to apologize a bit for the quality of the video, but, well, this is going to do a little better in the dark anyway. So this is a Dietz lantern. And as I've shown you, this is a good way to take the globe off. Just pull it up like that. And we'll spin it around because in behind we have the burner cap. And we have the burner itself. And there's a reason I've got paper towels all around here. So this is the burner. As you can see, this raises and lowers the wick. You don't want to have it too high. As you can also see, this one is straight across. Actually, it's not. It's all frayed in the corner here. So I've been researching, and there's basically three ways to cut a wick. One of them is dead straight, dead level, right across. Another one is you bevel the edges of the wick, which I've shown people how to do in the other video. The third way, we can get another wick out because we have three different choices here. The third way is to cut it round. So round it off. Oh yeah. Just a second here. Right. So the third way is round it like so. So I have three different wicks here. Fortunately. Now this one's actually a little, it was cut straight, but it was on an angle. That's not good either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all three. I'm going to get myself a generous amount of wick here. And since it's nice and dark, we shall see which is best. Now this one I'm cutting curved. There we go. Whoops, one little bit in the corner here. So this wick is curved. The second wick, it's also pretty black. I like to trim that off, because when it gets black like that, there's usually impurities. That's another thing to remember. This one I'm cutting straight across, but I'm going to bevel the corners. Now see, what we're aiming at is, because this lamp has got a very tall chimney, we're aiming at a very wide flame, not a narrow flame. Actually, this one's more curved. Okay. Let's do that the right way then. We'll do this one beveled. In any case, you'll see what I mean. Right. This one is like so. And this one, I do a bit of char on the end. But I'm going to get it right dead level. Just perfectly straight. Okay. So we'll come back in a minute and you'll see how these work. Alright. After a bit of fooling around, we're ready to give this a shot. Here's the first one. Get the wick down a bit. I'm going to leave that for a moment because it's cold. We've got a lot of condensation. So I'm going to put this down here a bit, let it clear up. We'll see in a minute what I mean about the best way to trim a wick. This is our second one. This is the beveled one at the edges. Yeah, it's all crummy as well. So it's almost drying out. Here's the third one, which is straight across. More or less, I think I got it mostly straight. You find if you don't get it right across, the flame will lean a little bit. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Ooh, this one needs a bit of work. And this is our third one. Let that burn for a second. Now this one is a little finicky to get that wick adjusted right. Okay, so we're going to wait for a minute or two and we will see. All right, so I've let the flame burn off all the condensation in the lantern, and here we go. This one is the curved one. So you can see that flame is quite triangular and not throwing as much light as you'll see as the rest. But there we go, there's one. That was the one totally curved. This one, you can see it's a little different. It's the one that was beveled at the edges. I don't mind that flame, but it's not as wide as I'd hoped. I mean, it's okay. The other thing is that when you adjust it down, the whole flame flattens right out, so it's not too much better than the curved wick. Now take a look at this one. Now that's, for a lantern, that's pretty bright. You'll notice there's a bit of a, the flame widens out very well. There's a bit of a spur on this side here, and that's because there's probably a couple threads. You can always go trim those, but usually they'll burn right off. So there you have it. Sometimes simpler is best, because this one actually throws the most light and it's just cut straight across. So you don't need to get fancy with your wicks or try to do anything cool, and just cut them straight across, and that's the best, looks like the best way to do it. They throw the most light. Probably use a lot more fuel too, but no, that's not true. I've actually filled these up full, and they're supposed to be about 17 hours on a tank, and the one with the brighter, with the straight flat cut wick, does not burn up any more fuel than the rest. Okay, just the last little bit here, I'll show you. It's just gotten dark, very pitch black, and it's about 5 o'clock here now, but this is what it looks like when you get a wick trimmed just right. Take a look. I didn't like the light of the other ones, so there we go. That's almost perfect. Notice how it's fairly wide and it throws a ton of light. There we go. And this is, well, that's how to do it. Well, I hope that was somewhat educational. Not a lot of people schlep around in the bush with these anyways, but they're great for power outages or around the home, and they're very inexpensive compared to the other types of lanterns, the white gas ones, especially the ones that fit on the little propane canisters, the little camping ones. Those are, they don't last very long at all. Even the propane ones with the big 1 pound canisters aren't great. These lanterns actually last a lot longer, so that's why I have them around. But as you see, the best way is to cut it straight flat, and it does throw the best light. So this has been sort of a lantern side chat. I'm Dean. This is the Alberta Bushcrafter channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care, and good day.